On point. On point.
Nice, Abi.
Again, let's do it again. On point.
On point.
On point.
On point.
God damn it. On point.
On point.
Yeah, man.
Saying that
On point.
it takes a community
Exactly.
to raise a
Leadership
child.
to raise a
Exactly.
child.
You
To
get me?
discipline a child.
So there is no way that there is no amount of upbringing, because then you are advancing kid. What was that in English? A foster child, right? So each and every one of us is raised and was raised to a certain amount. Now, getting older and experiencing things differentiates, and our level of decision making makes us finally become, and our level of understanding, because there are things that I might be willing to think about and try to grasp and understand, that someone else were in the same situation and they're like lost, they don't know what to do or how to go about it, So raising a child or going about the upbringing of a child, my temporarily stands right now is, and this is one of the things, let me put it this way. I have this African upbringing, and I have this looked and copied, westernized European upbringing somewhere, which I have to merge to become who I am, so that I can actually function as best of both worlds.
So I felt like that's the other, type of people. Because we have the two streets.
Exactly.
But then we're
And we're like,
in between.
the African thing, where like, we are wishy-washy, the European thing, we're also not really there. So now I'm trying to make the best out of it. Okay? What does that mean? It means that I noticed some of my work colleagues, the way they handle certain situations with their children. And sometimes if I hear certain situations, I'm hearing uppercut. This child, you lay you to rest, like bam, done, close. Give him knockout, good 2-3 hours sleep. But you see that the way they're like, yeah, blah, 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 and this. And I'm like, you're justifying this thing. Sometimes I have to like talk to them like, yo, it's like, it's your kid that is controlling
I was
you.
there at one party, like 2-3 weeks ago. So it was like, a lot of kids were there. We were just chilling, barbecuing, doing our thing. And there was one kid that was just playing the ball, but in the wrong direction. Like there's fire, there are drinks, there's food. Like it's a vibe right now. Play your ball in
This
the right
way,
direction.
don't play.
You
This
can,
is
you,
still
can feel,
vex.
you can feel the rage.
Of some
body,
people, or him, yeah. So now there are some dudes there. You would expect them to, like fire down. Like, look, if you don't straighten your ways, I will straighten you. So they said something, and my man here was like on his phone, and then he looked up. He's like, "What are you saying? Straighten this, So then the kid does it again. I don't know what he said. I don't know. But just, come, what's your name? Pa, 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 ta, ta, where after that, no more. No more.
So now the thing is, I learned even where I had to be patient with my own brothers because of the age difference. Like the other, that event, couple days now. That event couple days ago, my brother was with me. God, before we left the house, I was saying, Holy Ghost, teach me to handle this situation. Because we didn't have beef, nothing. He was doing his thing, I was doing my thing. So now, the African in me is shouting already in my head. The European in me, we're talking about upbringing now, right? The westernized F1 is like, nah, chill. He's still young, chill. Before I knew, I reacted the African way.
It's always like that.
Then I chilled again, like, yo, if you know you're going with me, then get dressed real quick, like hasten up, because no need for me to really get into the whole what happened. So now, if I hear some things, or if I was watching some of the things my colleagues are telling me, I'm like, no. Are you the one raising this child, or is this child
Raising you.
Like, there should be a leader in this thing, but well, they have their approach. So the only thing I did at the end, I learned that you have to just also be able to sit down, relax, and trust in the child.
But you see, that's why I agree with what he said with like, you know, I will allow my children to do certain mistakes. Because me too, I'll allow them to do certain mistakes. I feel like if there's certain mistakes, or not even like mistakes, but like catch my experience.
Well, hold on. Exactly.
No.
You see the difference with catch, give them
Allow
the
them to
freedom to experience things.
Not
Because if you're like, exactly, now that's the word.
Because
if you say, I will let them make a mistake, you know that this thing is definitely going to hurt you. That's why you say, I asked that question. You see the stories on, are you going to let your kid place their hands
That's
on
why I
you?
said let them experience.
But let them have their experience.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I agree.
And
because,
if
like,
you did something, if you raise them along the way properly, or at least you did it to the best of your knowledge, and you were able to have an impact on their soul, their spirit, right? Then, even if they're about to divert off the lane that would seem proper for them, there's something that would be like, yo, I made that mistake that day, I shouldn't do it again. So that's where I come in with what I say with the trust.
Yeah.
You just have to be like, you know what it is. I've tried to make this child go to school. It's two things. Either there is no interest and he has the capacity to actually make it, or the capacity is really not there, but I trust that you will find your way in life. So now what I will do is to support some things that you do. That is what I think many of our parents that they lacked, right?
That they like.
Yeah, that they like, which some of our parents lacked, because they tried to really make sure that we go to school, we are educated. Some of us made it, some of us fell off, but nonetheless, some of us that fell off were doing better than those that went to the I don't know what that was. I'm educated, you know. But yeah, you get me. Some of us that are not as studied as some other fellows or sisters out
We
there.
are students of life.
Yeah, we figured. Say bro, but we figured our way
Students
out.
of life. That's
But there is a bro.
Guys.
Yesterday I was out. Was I yesterday? I don't know. And we were chilling with what's it called, a group of people, and I was talking with this, beautiful young chick, and she was telling me like, yeah, this is my fate.
It is well.
It's pretty.
Yeah, okay.
Telling me about her faith, and I was like, yeah, let me,
Her faith.
her faith, her
Okay.
belief, and I was like, yeah, talk to me. What's up? Let's talk. We can talk religion, talk for anything.
Yeah.
She was like, nah, because we kind of linked up with we kicked it up with, you're that guy from OnPoint. I was like, yeah, so we talked.
What else?
So we spoke, and then it was like, nah, no need to talk about it. And I felt the energy like, I don't think you
You can
handle, you can comprehend.
who you is.
I was like, what are you trying to say? Like, I don't have depth or what? So she like, said some things, and I filtered out like, oh, this is your faith. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, like, because I didn't go to uni or what? Like, I will not. Obviously, we read. Like, what? So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, students of life,
I like that.
And that is obviously like, okay, being brought up a certain way. Like now, I know my dad wants me to study badly, but it got to a point where he was like, now it's like this guy knows what he's doing.
At least to an extent.
It's like he'll figure some stuff.
And there is nothing.
And it's because of the upbringing, though.
Yeah.
So that's why I was agreeing when you said like trust what you put in them.
Yeah, because I don't want to say some things. I had a conversation with my. Yeah, let me leave it at a conversation with my dad. And he was saying some things and I was saying some things. And I told him at the point, I didn't point my finger. I didn't point my finger before you misquote me. But I told him at the point, you see as I told you? I told him at the point that if you trust in your upbringing, what you just said, you thought I would have done at that moment, you shouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that if there is a proper input of their level of excellence in our contenance,
Nice one.
you get me? They shouldn't have the impression that, well, they can have the impression, but they should trust that life and faith will lead us in a way that sincerely will find our ways in life. So being overly strict can also be very unhealthy,
Yeah.
where I have to agree with you guys. Because you also dampen the growth pattern of that kid, or of that girl, or whatever he or she may be, it may be, you know? Because now you're trying to be overly clingy, don't go there, I have to pick you, and what did you say, what did you not say, did you eat that? You're actually stopping the growth process of that kid, of that individual, which makes some of them not know how to take certain decisions, or how to get out of certain issues of life once they get trapped in them.
It's actually like we're upbringing. I think the actual aim is to teach kids how to adapt as quick as possible. Because
Very important.
there's a
very,
post,
very
there's a
important.
post I saw on Insta, and it was like becoming an adult is so tough because it's constant. Everything is constant. You never stress.
This why you are drinking and mixing water and juice. Is it because we started with the water? Because the way it's been trying to mix
Like, I'm
drinking water. And
are you
and
forcing
mix like, don't choke on the water. on the water. Sorry, I'm hearing. Not my fault.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So yeah, just learning how to adapt, and it's just by the way they bring you up, your upbringing.
I think that's one of the most essential thing you have to teach a kid if
Learn
you
how to
can.
adapt.
Yeah, learn how to maneuver around
things like,
Because
okay,
if
this
something
happened.
comes, you get
Oh,
to
yeah.
this T junction, and there is no way. Yo, this is a T junction. Either you go to the left or to the right,
I think that's
or you
what
turn.
that's what the strict parents always miss, because if you're strict parents, they take the decision for you, and that's why you don't learn how to
That's
adapt.
terrible.
Yeah.
Very,
That's
very,
terrible.
Yeah.
very.
Because that strict means they're taking a decision at the end. Because if they say don't go, that means
Or
that's
they
bad.
expect.
Yeah.
Being strict is not always only taking decisions. Sometimes they just expect far too much from you.
Like now, I'll be honest with you. I'll be one of the parents where like it'll be a bittersweet thing. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Bittersweet. When I tell,
Americano.
yeah, understand.
Bittersweet.
No, they'll be
Bittersweet.
Very sweet.
but like when I don't know. I have a feeling you might feel the same way, but like that first time you forbid your child to go out, whatever it is, and they still do it, there will be some kind of, as crazy as it sounds, some kind of like, will I say, not joy, but like, no, I'll be kind of like, okay, at least you have your own sense, like you can do things on your own, vice versa. Man, I know it's a tough one, but
No.
nah, I don't know why I'll be.
You know my approach
Mm.
is that one of the things I learned from. Nah, Satan get behind me. So
But you could see how the thought was coming.
Let me not go there. One of the things I learned from a certain group of people
Yeah.
is that try establish, and I know that everybody will be like, yes, communication. There are some kids that are children of the devil. No matter how much you talk into them, you really try to establish this conversation.
Well, children of God, but they were adopted.
Oh, especially
Yeah, they were adopted.
before
Yeah,
birth, there
yeah.
was
The-
Übergabe document. There are some kids, we have to be honest, they are like, anyways.
Stubborn, yeah.
So one of the approach I think I will adapt is, if it gets to a certain point of time in life here, I will make sure that the way I'll handle it, if my kid wants to go clubbing, we'll establish certain rules. I don't mind you experiencing such things, for example, because there are way more worse things out there than clubbing. We're just using it, Now, you can sleep at your friend's place, sleep over, but I have to know who they are. who the parents are and how serious they handle certain things. Now, you want to go clubbing, let me know so that once I know that, oh, you guys want to go clubbing or you want to go clubbing, no worries, get dressed. Oh, you need some trainers? We'll make sure you're looking fresh in that because that's been working for some reason.
Yeah.
But don't violate, don't break certain rules. Now, what I'll do, I'll pick you up at such and such time.
Exactly.
Because I realized that really helped so many girls. If they had parents that knew that, okay, she's going to go to club, but you know what, her dad is coming. I knew girls that they would get picked up late at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you mad? My old man is sleeping and snoring or he's praying right now.
Yeah.
And she would call her dad like around 2, 3 a.m.
Isn't fertig?
Ja, kannst du mich holen? Okay, ja, da Viertelstunde. He leaves wherever he is to pick her up or to pick them up. Now, you know where your daughter ended
Where she started?
and where she probably started. Now, what happened in between you might not know, because if you have a nasty son, I mean, because they would say it's only girls we're talking, right? So if you have a nasty son, you don't know how many house pisuke he had in that time. So now, but if you offer him or her, look, I'll get you. I want to know what club you went to. Because it's also because you want to make sure that kid is safe. I'm not telling you don't go, don't see things, but I have to know where you are.
Yeah.
I
I
think
like that approach.
you show trust on both sides because both sides show trust to each other. So I feel it's a very nice approach.
I like that approach, and I feel like you should get to this certain point where even you and your kid, you can go clubbing together.
Now,
Go.
Hot.
No, why cut? We can talk about it now.
Oh, elaborando.
okay.
We can talk about it.
Okay, cool.
I didn't say it's a must.
But you're saying that where you guys could.
Where you
Okay.
guys could be in a club together
Let me just
and then
ask.
stay vibe.
Let me just ask of your impression, yeah. If you see a man that is 45 years old, between 45 and 50, at the club, and he's dancing to Christian Dior, and you know, would you feel that this guy is super responsible? We're not saying that that person is not responsible or doesn't have his shit together,
But you know
but
that.
how would you feel about it?
But you know those things happen.
If
You all know the first person that
Yeah.
comes in mind is Diddy, man.
Oh, Puffy, but Puffy.
see that's
That's
his way of
already-
life.
that's
his
already-
way of
I know.
life.
That's what
his
you
way of
always
life.
say.
But according to your question, if I see someone like that, it's just having fun. But in my own case, if I should be in a club with my son or my daughter or whatsoever,
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to be on the table. You get me? In the VIP section.
you sure about that?
Yeah, upstairs.
No, are you sure about that?
Nah, I'm sure about
Because
that.
I'm not saying are you sure about that because I don't trust that
Doubtful.
you have the money or that you can do it. But I think there are some things you grow out of somehow.
Yeah, I'm not saying every day clubbing.
No, not the popping bottle thing.
What I said,
Like
what I said.
so you and your kid will be exchanging which vodka are we going to take?
Nah.
Is it 42
One,
or bill?
you guys need to understand.
Put your
What I'm
100
trying to
card.
say-
Put your 100
You are stingy like your mother. You are stingy like your
If you
mother.
want to drink,
I've
bring
been
10
paying all your
bucks.
life.
Bring 10 bucks if you want to drink.
No, see, you are paying the Uber home. Not from my credit card. You are paying the Uber back home.
So what I'm just saying is like, okay, you should be at this level.
You are stingy like your mother.
You should be at this level where you could go somewhere with your child and they won't be awkward to be themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just leave that.
That
But according to your own
was
approach as
going to
well,
be risky.
the one you said, you feel certain joy if you ask your kid to go not to go
Not to
out,
go out,
if you
go.
forbid them not to go, and they go, that like you feel like okay,
See.
they can make decisions for themselves.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
Yeah,
it's,
right.
I wouldn't say yeah in that matter, but if we were discussing about his future, I was like, okay, I suggest you could do this, you could do this.
And they go for another.
And then he was like, okay, nah, I want something else. And then he elaborates, or she told
And it
me,
makes sense.
yeah, and makes sense. Like,
You'll be
okay,
happy.
I would be happy.
Look now, it's not that I'm saying I told you no, and you go out, I'm happy. No. But for me, that shows me, okay, you have a mind of your own. There are certain people that I told, okay, my parents told me not to do this. And it got to a point where I was like, guy, you're old enough. You know, if it's not even like, yeah, rebel, but like, I say that as crazy as it sounds, but like, do it kind of like, you're a man, do it responsibly. Like, if you go, like, all right, let them know, even if it's not before, then you know, and show them like, hey, look, there's nothing to discuss. I'm doing this, you know. So that's why I'm like, it shows like, okay, you're taking responsibility for your action. What would piss me off is if you come back and then you lie or you're going about something, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's all I meant.
I don't fully agree there.
Mine is, if you want to show me that you have gotten to a certain age that you can pull your stunts, do it with things that will have respect for each other.
Flip money and bring the
Yeah, don't escape, run from the window, or come up with stories that I'll be sleeping at my friend's place, or at my mom's place, or my whatever place, just for you to do some shit. You know?
But the point is, you have to give them that base of that they can trust you, so that they can come up truthfully to you. Because if you're in a way that let's go with the word strict, they're so strict that they can't tell you. You need to expect that coming from them, because they will not tell you by any chance. Only if you have reached the stage where you say, okay, like you said, I'm a man now, I have to say how it was. But before then, there's no chance. I think you have like Desmond said, there's a kind of freedom you have to give them, so they can also come open to you. And I think with that openness, you can have a talk with them. They can tell you what's going on, you tell them what can happen. I think if both sides collide and come together like that, things will be easier. But like, I'm not a parent, so I cannot say how it's going to be in future.
Okay. Last question to round up the session. You spank your child?
Yeah.
Definitely.
What about you?
But you, that's it.
Okay.
And if you have issues, go and report it to the police now.
Look,
you know why?
I fear my parents more than the police. who are in school. Shout out to those people. No, listen, wait, we're in school and we're having lectures. Wonderful lecture. I remember our teacher, very nice, from Australia. Then there were these two people that came in, two women. They were like, yeah, we're coming to talk to all the kids that are abused, you know, have been aggressively mishandled, and have suffered terrible traumas at home. You're obviously due to beating. So almost all the foreign kids, they just got up. Oh yeah, we're following you. So I was with my guy, also Nigerian.
And it was like, guy, didn't you get fucked up yesterday? I'm like,
so we went there, we were sitting
okay. I just heard what you said, yeah.
So we were sitting there and they're like, yeah, so you know what, all these things, you have to do something, you have to be active about this, to change this thing.
Oh, you guys walked out too?
We walked out too.
Like, at least, let's hear what you got to say.
We walked out too.
So
it's
like, better than lesson.
Yeah, definitely. So she was like, yeah, we have to be active. It was only one that was talking, and it was like, she's like, now thinking about this, like, she's selling a pitch, but she's not selling, she's just making the pitch. You get what I mean? If you sell something, you're
trying to make push people.
Exactly. These are the benefits. This is profitable because of this, and then you sell. So she's making the pitch, and I'm like, where are you going? She's like, yeah, you need to be active about this. This needs to stop because it affects with your, you know where I'm going. It affects your learning. She just finished, and she rested. And we're sitting on the bench like, okay. Then the other one steps in. Aus diesem Grund let's call the police. I just got up. I'm like, I'm out. There's nobody calling my parents. Not in this place. We don't do that. We don't roll like that. I was looking at him. He was like, boy, let's go. Let's go. What are you talking about? So, yeah, but I'll still spank my kids.
I have to word this properly so that none of us get into difficulties afterward. It's not like I really care, you know me. But to be safe, there is a difference between abusing your child and disciplining your child. So I guess where we are coming from, because you didn't say anything to that yet.
I didn't say.
Yeah.
Yet.
But he asked the question. You see, as they put us into Hell's Kitchen. Now, what I say is that there's a difference between discipline and there is a difference between abusing your child, transferred aggression. That's not what we desire to partake in. But if we believe that a proper upbringing might deserve or might call for the child to be put to order, we will have to use those measures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, there are many other ways than spanking, physical abuse to make sure that the kid is put into position and put into order. But if that is one of the things it will take, I think I will have to do that.
I have to say, I even appreciate
To be politically correct, that was...
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I even
On point. On point.